Let's talk about the incoming Biden administration and some of the appointments that we can expect in his cabinet. We have Yahoo Finance's Jessica Smith here with all of those details. Hi, Jess.
Hey, Kristen, just in the past hour or so, President-elect Joe Biden announced some of his picks for his national security and foreign policy team. So let's go through some of the names. We have Secretary of State. He is nominating Tony Blinken. That is a longtime Biden aide. He was the former Deputy Secretary of State during the Obama administration. He has spoken about the need to reclaim leadership abroad, and he'll be a key part of Biden's efforts to rebuild relationships with U.S. allies. The Secretary of Homeland Security, the nominee is going to be Alejandro Mayorkas. That's former Deputy Secretary of DHS. The Biden campaign says he will be the first Latino and first immigrant to be nominated to this position. Then we have Linda Thomas-Greenfield. She'll be nominated for UN ambassador. That's a role that will be elevated to cabinet level. Thomas-Greenfield spent 35 years in U.S. foreign services. Then we have former Secretary of State John Kerry. He'll be a special envoy for climate and will sit on the National Security Council. The Biden team says this is the first time that NSC has an official dedicated to fighting climate change. Then we have Avril Haynes, the former deputy director of the CIA. She'll be nominated to be the director of national intelligence. The Biden campaign says she'll be the first woman to assume that role. And finally, we have Jake Sullivan as national security advisor. He's a longtime Biden and Hillary Clinton advisor. In a statement, Biden said that this team is experienced and crisis tested, innovative, and imaginative. He went on to say their accomplishments in diplomacy are unmatched, but they also reflect the idea that we cannot meet the profound challenges of this new moment with old thinking and unchanged habits, or without diversity of background and perspective. Now, Kristen, we were expecting some of these nominations tomorrow, and we do now expect to hear from President-elect Biden at some point tomorrow. We'll be looking for any other news about possible members of his cabinet. We know he has already picked a Treasury Secretary, so we'll be keeping an eye on any developments as his administration starts to take shape.
And of course, Brian Chung will be detailing some of the picks for the Treasury a little bit later on. And of course, I'm sure as everyone is noting at home, a lot of women as a part of this administration make up more than 50% of his transition team. But Jess, I want to ask you about something that you and I actually haven't talked about in a while, which would be the presidential election. Because it's been pretty much a foregone conclusion, I think, for most people. But we do have some updates there, at least when it comes to the lawsuits. So tell us what we've got going on, especially in states like Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we are expecting Michigan and Pennsylvania to consider certification of the results in those states at some point today. The Michigan Board of Canvassers started meeting at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Biden won Michigan by more than 150,000 votes, but President Trump and his associates have been urging the board to refuse to certify the results with more baseless claims about the election. The board in Michigan has 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, and it hasn't been clear if the 2 Republicans would go along with President Trump's wishes or if they would vote to certify. Just in the past few minutes, I'm seeing reporters who are there in Michigan who are covering this there say that one of the GOP canvassers says the board has a duty to certify the election results today, but he wanted to hear public opinion first. So no official results there, but it looks likely that the board is going to certify those results. And then we have Pennsylvania. The counties there are set to certify their results as well. Biden won that Commonwealth by more than 80,000 votes. His team, President Trump's team, is trying to stop the certification. They had a lawsuit over the weekend that was dismissed, the judge saying that they could not invalidate millions of votes like they were trying to. But the Trump team says they are going to appeal that decision. We are starting to hear from more Republicans, not many, but we are starting to hear from more Republicans like Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, who said over the weekend after that ruling dismissing that case that the Trump team has exhausted their legal options and that it's time for President Trump to accept the results and that he lost.